Hi, I'm Rob. In fact, today I'm Rob the Grog. Got a bit of a grog thing going on. Got that mushroom head thing. Got a bit of a headache and, yeah, woken up a bit groggy. But anyway, today I'll be Rob the Grog. And in this Rob the Grog video, I'm going to take a look in the Soulforge. Going to tell you what I think is good and bad in there. Take a look at this weekly event troop, Hollyoak. Oops, I almost pressed the wrong button there. Show you a no Mythic World Event team and an Underspire team too. So let's start off by having a look at Hollyoak. And yeah, she's covering up her what sits with some red holly by look of things. Anyway, let's see what she can do. So there's magic +1 damage to an enemy, boosted by bleed and fairy fire gems. Then create 5 bleed gems and 5 fairy fire gems. So damage with a boost, and she creates that boost herself once she casts. So she got ready to cast again pretty quick. Should get an even bigger boost. And bleed gems are purple, fairy fire gems are green. She does generate some of her own colour, which is good, and she does gain bonus green from green gem matches, and has a 35% chance to convert 3 green gems to fairy fire gems when her battle begins. So that's like a complete one-off when a battle begins, and reduce damage from skulls by 33%. So the traits aren't too bad for this kind of level of troop, but nothing amazing as ever. If you're a experienced player, been playing the game for a while, but potentially handy if you're fairly new to the game. But as ever, get this thing to Mythic if you can afford the glory. Anyway, I heard that by law you have to turn on your headlights when it's raining in Sweden. I'm in the UK. How the hell am I supposed to know when it's raining in Sweden? It's ridiculous. Do you see? Right, anyway, onto the Forge of the Soul we go. Right, let's start off with the weapons. We'll take a look at the weapons first. As ever, I'm not going to show all the ones that are here all the time. They're in my Soulforge extra video, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. And first up we have Trickster's Shot. Excellent, excellent weapon. Eliminate all armor from an enemy and deal magic +3 damage and gain 2 magic boosted by armor eliminated. So absolutely fantastic weapon, especially against those super high level opponents that start off with like stacks and stacks of armor. If you go really far in events sometimes and the armor just goes wild, boost, just gone in one go, and you get a boost to it from the amount was taken off as well. So absolutely fantastic. Trickster's Shot, virtually an essential weapon today, I might suggest. The Summer Aegis. Magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by Bright Forest allies, then create a mix of 6 green and red gems for each Bright Forest ally. Uses yellow and purple, creates green and red. So at least have 1 or 2 Bright Forest allies in your team to make the most of all that juicy mana. Next up we have the Fairy Ring. Damage to an enemy boosted by Fey allies, then create a mix of 6 green and purple gems for each Fey ally. So same kind of thing, but this one uses blue and yellow to get charged and generates green and purple. So at least this time have 1 or 2 Fey allies in your team using green and or purple to make the most of all that lovely juicy mana. And Staff of Bright Forest. Remove all green gems with no effect. Just disappeared from the board. Then deal magic based damage to an enemy boosted by gems removed, and if the enemy is from Bright Forest or if the battle is in Bright Forest, deal double damage. So kind of like the anti-Bright Forest weapon in a way, because green gems are the colour they like the most. And you never seem to kind of use these weapons, but they are mega cheap to craft, just 75 diamonds. And it gives you another weapon you can take to full power when you power it up and get the upgrades, which can enhance your power level kingdoms. So certainly worth doing for that alone. Now, Bright Forest does have some of the best explodey summoning weapons in the game for me. Mystic Manuscript is one of them. Any explodey summoning weapon that has enchanting is just really, really good in general. It explodes gems, which charge up your team, and often gives itself some mana back at the same time. You get a status effect to all, in this case, mystic allies, and a summon as well. Because it's enchanting, it gets 2 mana per turn as well, so it gets ready to do it again pretty flipping quickly. Absolutely stunning weapons, these ones, especially ones with a summon. Especially the ones with, well, they are by default, especially the ones with enchanting, I meant, because they can do it again so quickly. You can actually be down to just this sometimes and turn the game around and have a full roster of troops again. Sometimes even more powerful than what you started with, which is a bit weird sometimes. So yeah, absolutely fantastic, fantastic weapon. Celestial Flask, another good weapon, providing you don't want brown. Creates 3 potions of either blue, red, green, yellow or purple and gain an extra turn. So even if those potions don't immediately align, you can make it so with the extra turn. Or cast a Explodey Troop, which was already charged, and then get just an insane amount of mana. Actually criminally underrated, the Celestial Flask. Very, very good indeed. Wand of Stars, we all know about this one. Create 6 elemental stars and bless all allies, or create 7 umbral stars and curse all enemies. Absolutely great mana generator. Can sometimes backfire and get you in a spot of bother, but it's all part of the win reward versus the potential downside to it. It's like very powerful, but can have a chance of backfiring. It's like absolutely overpowered anyway, and still the best weapon in the game. And as ever, just craft if you can. But it's here every single week. Some of these, or all of these, will be gone and won't be back for a while. So you got to spend your resources wisely if you wouldn't have anything left resource-wise to get anything else if you did craft the Wand of Stars today. So there's plenty of weeks where there's none or no essential weapons. Wand of Stars is here all the time, so there's plenty of time to get it, basically. What else have we got next? What have we got next? The Doomed Poignard, dealing magic +4 damage to the last enemy, boosted by green gems. If they have a Doom, deal double damage as a 3% chance per temporary level to kill the enemy. Now, even with this at +10, that's still only 1 in 3 chance to kill the enemy. Not really a fan of those kind of weapons, so nothing great for me. But if you don't, if you're the sort of player that doesn't mind going with those kind of odds and that sort of chance thing, then could be alright, I suppose. But yeah, not a fan myself. Shimmer Scale's Wing. Give magic +1 life to all allies, and if Shimmer Scale is on my team, gain an extra turn. So gaining life is alright, but the trouble with that is quite often you'll be against teams which do more damage than what you can gain back life. And also, I don't like these kind of things where it says, if X troop or whatever is on my team, do something else. Because unless it's something really amazing, that's half your team sort of forced upon you already. Because obviously, if you've got this weapon and you want to get the extra turn to get the most out of it, you need Shimmer Scales. That's 2 out of 4 of your troops kind of set in stone for you kind of thing. So yeah, not a fan, more collectible for me, that one. Eruption of Roses, another absolutely fantastic Explodey summoning weapon. Explode magic +1 green gems, grant a random status effect to all Fey allies, then summon a Fey troop. Plenty of really good Fey troops, plenty of mana from that when you explode green gems, status effects, but again, in the upgrades is what makes these things sometimes, and Entangling, so good. If you're up against a skull-based team, you could start in a class which starts with a root trapped already, gives you time to charge something like this, and when you cast it, the top troop will be entangled. And because it charges itself up when it explodes, then you can be ready to do it again pretty quickly if the rest of the mana is on your side, or you just have other troops which give you mana instead, or just make normal gem matches. But either way, it's a fantastic, fantastic weapon. Do like it a lot. What else we got? Have a Burning Claw. Should take your hand out of the fire then. It's a bit silly. Anyway, deals magic-based damage to an enemy, boosted by red allies and Fey allies. So a basic weapon with a boost, nothing too special about that. Just collectible, and that is it. That is all of them. So yeah, some good weapons here, particularly the Explodey summoning weapons, and particularly the Trickster's Shot. Absolutely amazing. And even Celestial Flask is a very, very good weapon, and surprisingly good. Kind of underrated, that one, in a way. It's been around ages, but no one really talks about it or uses it. Anyway, on to the troops. Let's take a look now. Again, if you're a newer player, always have a little look through the summoning stones, see if there's anybody in there that's good. You're looking for goblins, you're looking for empowered troops like this that start battles with full mana. Can make a massive, massive difference at the start of games in normal games as well as Guild Wars regarding how well you get going at the beginning. And have a little look through Bogstrider. Again, a really good troop. Destroying magic +1 gems and entangling a random enemy. Reduce damage from skulls by 33% and inflict entangle when doing skull damage. So a really good way of keeping the enemy under control in skull games. Skull-based teams, when they're attacking you with skulls, just leave this guy up top. It's not 100% reliable, because obviously you are relying on skulls, but I've done it before in Guild Wars and it does work. An absolute treat. Same as the other one, the Forest Troll does a similar thing as well. So yeah, do like that kind of thing. Makes it... I feel like there's a bit of jeopardy there as well, which makes it somewhat exciting. Nobody too special there. And we've got a goblin there, look. Priest of Nilbog, not one of the better ones, but still does summon a life storm. That'd be interesting. A leaf storm at the start of battle, and gives life to all allies and barrier all goblin allies and gain an extra turn. So the barrier's really good on that. Barrier's kind of underrated in a way, how strong that is. And barrier all goblin allies and all goblin team is actually pretty good. Not too shabby at all, Sherlock. Who else we got here? Nobody too fantastic there, and likewise there. Even though Gob Chomper, like, I'm still surprised people don't use these kind of troops more often. I might do a video on this because there's a few troops like this that do basically just a chance to devour instantly and start battle with full mana. And so really good 50-50 chance of just sorting out those goblin teams. You know, the ones that give you a lot of hassle if you can't see a way of freezing them, or if they've got like status effects, or they're immune to freeze and things like that, and you feel like they're going to get going and they're going to give me a load of trouble straight away. Starts with empowered, so starts battles with full mana, and you've got a literally 50% chance to just remove a goblin from the board. But you never seem to see people use them, ever. Bizarre. Anyway, who else we got? Right, let's start at the bottom now. Work our way up. Let's go to the mythics. And the first one up is actually the dragon on rotation, which is Lunar Relian. Huge amount of damage to all enemies. Convert 5 purple gems to purple dragon gems with a 10% chance for an extra turn, boosted by purple gems. But the main reason to pick this up today would be if you want to get this particular troop, because it's the last one in the set you need on your path to crafting Stellarix. But it does cost extra Dragonite, 2,000. It's a heck of a lot more than normal, but at least you'd be guaranteed it. I mean, I've seen some people getting crazy amount of duplicates on these latest evil dragon eggs. Absolutely nuts. Spending way more, like huge amounts of Dragonite trying to just get all 6 dragons, and they're failing even opening like 20, 30 eggs. It's like unreal, this duplicates problem. Real pain. So 2,000 Dragonite is a lot more than normal. It does actually guarantee you get it and stop your headaches of basically getting constant duplicates. So player's choice, but if I had the Dragonite and it was the last one I needed on that set to craft in Stellarix in this case, I would absolutely spend that extra Dragonite. No doubt about it. Jack, Jane, Fred, David. I'm not going to go through all names I can think of. That would be a really long video. Anyway, first normal mythic is both Ross. Yep, both Ross. Like, don't want one Ross, want both of them. Does double magic roughly damage to an enemy. There's a 20% chance to kill them, boosted by poisoned and death marked enemies. So 20% is roughly 1 in 5. You can boost that because it does inflict poison and death mark to a random enemy by matching 4 or more gems. So get a few of them and you can seriously boost that chance to kill. But it is, again, that chance to kill, but hey, if you feel lucky, then why not? It does reduce damage from spells by 25% and does have Undying as its trait. So kind of bad if you're an unlucky person in that kind of thing, and can be good if you're lucky in that kind of thing. Anyway, it is what it is. And we have Cantor next, a crabby crab, doing magic +1 true damage to the first and last enemies, boosted by blue gems at a ×3 ratio. It does give 4 armor to all blue allies when matching blue gems, but reduce damage from skulls by 25% is okay, and submerge itself when it takes damage can make it awkward to finish off, especially if you're fighting a damage to all team, because it would just dodge that damage automatically as soon as it takes the first hit. So yeah, kind of one of those ones that's kind of good and bad again. It's generally quite bad against other troops, but can be pretty good against certain opponents. The Arc Dever. Choose an ally and give them roughly ×3 magic, attack, life and armor, and fill their mana. Can only be cast once. Absolutely mad. Really good. Do like that. Sanctuary is really good as well. Barrier and Bless a random ally by matching 4 or more gems, and all allies gain 2 random skill points and gain 1 magic for each yellow ally. Is just a moderate first trait for a mythic, but a 20 mana cost, which is the lowest sort of starting point for mythics, then that's actually a really good spell, and it can significantly just increase the power obviously of one ally and just make them absolutely mentally powerful. Do like the Arc Dever. Very good in the correct team. Who do we have next? Oh, we got Scardia, the last one. She's not very good. She's getting a bit long in the tooth now in the game, and she's kind of been outclassed by better, more powerful mythics since she came along. Freeze and mana burn the first two enemies. So many troops now just immune to mana burn, it is nuts. Knock them to last position and summon Queen Mab. So summoning a legendary is not too shabby, and still Snowstorm, which is really good, is create an ice storm at the start of every turn, can certainly be useful in certain teams. That's a blue storm, and gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell. Very, very... I was going to say very slowly push up her damage, but it doesn't. Just pushes up her magic by 1, so it does increase her damage slightly. But yeah, because when you freeze someone and you mana burn them, you do damage based on your magic and the mana they've collected. So it's like, yeah, but yeah, she's a bit long in the tooth now. So yeah, not so great anymore. And now let's take a look at the legendaries. We have Carnex. Create 5 skulls, then explode 10 skulls and gain a bunch of armor. So roughly magic and a half. Create 5 skulls, explode them all. Does get mana really quickly sometimes, but again, a bit specialist. Moloch. Drain all mana from an enemy. Pretty good. And deal magic plus 3 true damage boosted by mana drained at a 1-to-1 ratio. So you drain 15 mana, you add 15 damage. And we have Wrath. Pretty good. Do like it. Transforms blue gems to brown and yellow to skulls. Enrage all allies. And burn all enemies and explode 2 random gems when I deal skull damage is pretty good, as well as reflect 25% of skull damage. You do see this in Guild Wars battles quite a lot, and PvP sometimes. Still a relevant troop and still very, very decent. As is Starflower. You don't see her very much, but she's great. Honestly, do love me a bit of Starflower. Dealing magic plus 2 damage to all enemies, boosted by ally and enemy Fae, and as a summon, and has a 20% chance to transform a random enemy to a pixie. That's mad. You get other mythics like Bothos fella, 20% chance to kill them, but if you transform them into a pixie, that's pretty much like killing them because a pixie's flipping useless. And a 50% chance to fairify a random enemy at the start of my turn is decent as well because it pushes up damage by 50%, which is really, really good. So yeah, Starflower, criminally underrated. Right, so who gets my mythic of the half week? Because it's not the full week anymore, is it? I keep on saying mythic of the week, and it's not. It's the half week. But anyway, it is what it is. It's not going to be Scardy, because she's a bit jank. Yes, very much a possibility, considering we have Cantor and both of us left, both quite specialist, depending upon who you're fighting. But on the basis that basically the Art Deva can be good in literally any team, virtually against any opponent, then obviously, the more powerful you are, the bigger the boost starts to get, but that's kind of the same for all troops in the game, apart from a select handful. But the Algdeva gets my Mythic of the Week. Now onto the World Event. Now the World Event, you get medals, which massively power up your team, and they do stack. As you can see here, I've got 2 medals here and 1 badge, which is really good. The Medal of Thorns and the Badge of Thorns, and make sure you collect them and apply them to get those massive damage bonuses. 160%. Bonus damage is absolute great. So grab them from the rewards section. This is a guild-based event, and other players in your guild may have started this event before you, and they may have earned some of these already. So make sure you grab them from the rewards section before you come to here. Right, so let's go over the scoring system and then show the team. There are 6 battles you can encounter during this event: Blood Elf, Forsaken Guardian, Bone Golem, Judge of the Dead, Keeper of Souls, and Zathanos. The first 5 battles are randomly chosen, but they all have an equal chance of appearing on the map. The battle against Zathanos will only appear after you have won 4 other battles. After defeating them, all battles reset, and you'll need to fight another 4 battles to spawn Zathanos again. And you get the following rewards from these. You get Blood Elf, who gives 3 herbs, Forsaken Guardian gives 4 herbs, Bone Golem gives 5 herbs, Judge of the Dead gives 2 flowers and 2 herbs, Keeper of Souls gives 2 flowers and 3 herbs, and Zathanos gives 4 flowers and 4 herbs. Each flower is worth 5 points, each herb is worth 2 points, and battles will drop a variable number of flowers and herbs, on average about 1.18 times the base amount. But I've simplified the scoring system on screen there, but generally always fight the one that's highest rank, if you know what I mean. So Keeper of Souls is the best one here, so we'll pick on them first. Now a really quick, easy team for this is going to be Queen Titania Leprechaun. This one, the Eruption of Roses, really like it, and King Oberon. King Oberon gives all Fey allies a 50% start with mana, and can give life and magic as well, which is nice. Creates a firestorm and enchants all Fey allies. The benefit of the firestorm is that is a red storm, which is going to help Queen Titania, and we'll come to that in just a moment. But Eruption of Roses, fantastic explodey summoning weapon. Went over it in the Soulforge part of the video. Explodes magic +1 green gems, gives a random status effect to all Fey allies, which will be the whole team, and has a summon as well. Very, very nice indeed. And has the bonus of tangling the top troop, which means they can't whack you with skulls. Absolutely fantastic. Leprechaun starts battles with full mana and explodes green gems. Just with that quick start from this is going to be like really quick, and we're going to get the potion of enchantment and the potion of explosion and explode these if Queen Titania isn't ready already, Eddie, which she probably will be. And she does a decent amount of damage to all enemies, boosted by red enemies and allies, and if there are 13 or more red gems, gain an extra turn. Remember, King Oberon is here, and when he casts, you can create a firestorm. For the class, we'll be in Hierophant for this. Very, very good for this. Indeed, all allies gain 2 random skill points, reduce damage from spells by 25%, 24% chance to create, or to grant rather, a random positive status effect to a random ally when my turn begins. And from this, we can have stuff like resilience. We'll have a little bit of that. We can have a cleanse on 4 or 5 gem matches. We can have all allies gain 2 life on 4 or 5 gem matches. We can have create a firestorm at the start of battle, which is red, which is good for Queen Titania. We can have Gift of Fire that raises up her magic even more, and we can have Nature's Will, gain bonus green from green gem matches. Very, very nice indeed. And for the banner, we will have a good old Spirit Fox banner, +2 red, +1 green, -1 yellow. Right, let's jump into a scrap then. This should happen really quickly. We've got that Potion of Enchantment, we've got a 50% mana start, we've got an explosion thing. We've got Leprechaun about to blow stuff up. So there we are, ready to go straight away. Absolutely instant, job done, and win. There are options on this as things get hard, get more difficult as you go along. You can swap out Leprechaun if you like for a slightly slower start and put in another troop. I'll just show that in just a second. I'll just get this battle out of the way first. Let's just blow stuff up. Queen Titania is ready and being super fast. This is going to be very, very easy in these early stages. But as things get a little bit more difficult, let's just go to a Judge of the Dead. What you could do later on is swap out. I know this becomes a mythic team now, technically, because I always like to do no mythic teams. But this is a really good no mythic team. This is going to last you a good while. But there are options for this. You can either take out Leprechaun and chuck in Mist Mother. That'd be really good. Fairy Fire all enemies when matching 4 or more gems. Get a single 4 match. You're doing 50% extra damage already, as well as doing damage to all enemies itself, boosted by Fairy Fired enemies. And convert 3 skulls into ×2 wild cards. That'd be a really good way to go. But regarding damage to all troops, that's going to be the quickest way around it. Let's just bring some of them up. Like that. We have got other ones. Forenza, not a too bad choice. If you replace Leprechaun with her, uses the same colours as Leprechaun. Does damage to all enemies as well. Again, boosted by Fairy Fire gems. That's pretty cool. You have a summon as well. That's if you don't have Mist Mother. But yeah, Mist Mother, a really good choice to chuck into this. Just for that Fairy Fire all enemies and the fact it does damage to all as well. But I'll continue the battles showing this team here because it's going to be plenty good enough to get us through these early stages. Got that Firestorm at the beginning. Look. Red gems for more than any other colour. Didn't have to do anything then. The team just completely charged itself up. Leprechaun was sitting there thinking, oh, okay. Thought I was going to be useful here, and turns out he didn't need me. But we would have needed him. Because if you had to cast again at some point, he's sitting there waiting to be cast and can come in handy that way. So it's okay, Leprechaun. You still needed, mate. Not again on that one though, because yet again the team got charged up absolutely instantly. Here's Zathanos when he pops up, bashes mouldy, cabbagey looking, mouldy, grey, pointy fingered face into oblivion. Oh, yes. Okay. This is how it's going to be, is it? That's what Leprechaun says. You got me because I've got a fast start and explode gems right off the bat, and I'm sitting here like a leprechaun doing nothing. What's that, 3 in a row now without having to do anything? No, 4. Okay. Normally I'll jump forward by now and do one of the harder levels instantly, but I'm just intrigued to see how long this will go for before the Leprechaun actually gets to do something. That's 4 games now, is it? 4? 5. Queen Titania didn't nearly get to do anything. Like 2 of the enemies were already dead. Well, I'm going to stop this in a minute, because if this keeps on doing this, then it's going to be a really long video, because I still want to jump forward and show the harder levels, but we're just continuously wiping out on the early stages right now. We've done it again. Right, I'm going to have to jump forward. This is like ridiculous. Well, I've jumped a little bit forward, but I'm only going to show a few more battles, I think, because this is still pretty much a instant win team. Probably 8 times out of 10. It's just charging up our Queen Titania instantly, and with that extra damage from the medal, then we're absolutely demolishing through the team. Absolutely, instantly. The loading battle is taking longer than the actual battles, which is a bit daft. Lots of green there, so he's going to charge up Queen Titania straight away again, yeah, and with that medal, absolutely kaboosh them all into oblivion. Absolutely crazy! Come on, all this in-between stuff is literally 3 times longer than the actual battles. Pretty much a instant win team. Absolutely fantastic. Super duper easy. Come on. There we go. Few green there, should be a nice start for Queen Titania. Yeah, we're ready again. It's just ludicrous. It's like literally been like probably 9 out of 10 have been like this. Right, let's just do one more, then we'll call that a day, and then we'll shift over to the Underspire team. Right, come on, don't be slow. It's annoying when you've got a nice fast team and the game slows down. It actually makes the after battle stuff seem like even more chuggy than normal. Right, last one. I think we can see how this works. Just start the game and win. Again, absolutely ridiculous. And now on to the Underspire team. Now, you don't often get to actually do this, but if you just watch the World Event team, then this is exactly the same team. No changes whatsoever. And the option is still the same. You can swap out Leprechaun if you like for a Mist Mother or something like that to gain that extra damage. So, yeah, really cool. We're not going to be quite as fast as before, obviously, because we don't get the potion of explosion at the beginning and the potion of enchantment, but you still get to cast Leprechaun and charge up our Queen Titania pretty quickly, so it should still be fairly easy going in the early start of the game, or the early part of the game. And we still got the benefit of the explodey summoning weapons, so if things go wrong, always grab your lantern from matey boy Mr. T wannabe. Thank you very much, pal. On your way. Be gone. Thank you. Goodbye. I do not want any more of your wares. Come on. Shift on. And yeah, so exactly the same as before. But we have got the backup of a summon from the weapon, which is always good to have. And on this one, well, actually I'll just show something extra in a minute as well. Still grab 4 matches when you can. We'll still explode those gems. And we'll still kill very quickly in the early stages. But regarding options further down the line, when a fast start isn't actually as essential as having plenty of power, just okay having a fast start, but if you've only got 1 damage to all troop, like Queen Titania for example, then later on it's going to be slower because you have to multi-charge her, because Leprechaun is a mana generator, this is a mana generator and a summoner, and this just really gives us our fast start and a bit of a magic boost and extra survivability. But later on in this, what we could do is actually, what we're doing is there is the option to bring in Firenze in place of Leprechaun, just for an extra damage to all troop and an extra summon. That's pretty important because then you've got 2 summons. You've got the Firenze there and you'll have our Eruption of Roses there. So you'll have actually 2 summon options if you lose your Queen Titania, which is not bad. But other than that, same as before. I'd say that in place of Leprechaun, Mist Mother is a very good one to verify all enemies when matching 4 or more gems. Then we have a damage to all troop as well. That's going to do extra damage. And so will Queen Titania, because everybody will be verified. We get it from that anyway, but there's nothing like just getting a 4 match and having it done absolutely straight away. Very, very cool indeed. So I'll just do another couple of battles and then the video will be a day. Look at that thing. It's literally like a magnet for stuff. Oh, that's a lot of red straight away. So that's where like things like the potion of explosion, it's nice not to have them sometimes. Because sometimes you see, how many times have you seen a nice start on a game, on a match, and then the potion of explosion actually ruins it, and you technically end up with less mana than what you would have started with if you got that lovely 5-match red or something like that. So yeah, pros and cons with the potions of explosion and things like that, but most of the time it's good, but sometimes it does actually take away from what would have been a better situation. We got an angry hamster. See, this is where you're better off actually leaving that. The only troop that, a lot of people would take that automatically. The only time I would take that is if we had the Mist Mother team and he needed more damage. But otherwise, there's no point taking that. Like, we don't care about our King Oberon at this point. And much better off leaving green there, because green means we explode more gems, which gets our Queen Titania up even quicker to win the game. But yes, very, very straightforward. This World Event and Underspire, I might think. They get trickier later on. Underspire for sure if you go all the way. But let's make this the last battle. And we'll officially say to the video, do you know what you are? Video doesn't reply because it can't talk. But I'll tell it. You are a day. Right? And that is it. And there's the video. If you enjoyed it, found it useful or helpful, it'd be really cool if you press that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.